Hey guys, Cam here, and today we're going to be doing another top 5, but this one is going to be more of an updated version of the top 5 drift cars that I have done previously. Now, I've been reading your comments and doing a lot more research on the internet, and you know, the list has changed quite a bit, though you will see maybe one or two cars in the list that was in the previous video as well. But anyway, I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet, so let's get into this list. At number 5, I'm going to put in the Nissan Silvia. Now, I normally like to start off these lists with like a car that you sort of go through the game with, not really a car that you use at end game, though people have said you can get high scores using this car. Now, if you're watching this video and you're just starting out the game, seriously, go out and get this car, because it only levels up to 299. But it's such an amazing drift car, and I do think it's one of the best drift cars out there that, you know, that has that 299 level cap. The problem is because it can only go up to 299, it, you know, once you've hit that cap, you want to start looking at moving on to a 399 car. And I know people are going to hate me saying that, but I did do a little test on the Drift King event. Now, if I'm using like a car which has like a 399 level, I can pull out maybe like a 3.2 to 3.4 million drift score. So with this car, I could really put out a 1.4. So I'm basically 2 million score down by using this car. But like I say, it's more of a go through the game car than it is end game car. At number 4, we have the Ford Mustang Derelict. Now this car is, oh my god, it is so good. This car is on the list because a lot of you guys commented on my top 5 drift cars video saying just how amazing this car is. So I had to go out there and get this car and turn it into a super build, and once I did, oh my fucking god, it's just a crazy car to drift with, and you can get so much high score with this car, and I can see why everyone seems to be, you know, loving this car a lot. Now, if you're like a manual user like me, the car can be a bit clunky when shifting. Like, it's really hard to explain. It's like slow at changing gears compared to other cars, which can be a bit of a nuisance when you're sort of changing gear while drifting. But apart from that, I mean, this car is really good, and I think a lot of people should try it and just see how amazing it is. At number 3, we have the Lamborghini Huracan. Now, this car was number 1 in my last top 5 video, but it's hard to explain because it's a really good car, and just because it's not number 1 anymore doesn't mean that I hate the car, otherwise it wouldn't be on the list at all. But it's just I've found, you know, a couple of other cars which I prefer drifting with, and you know, I feel as though I can get higher scores with the next 2 cars that you would see on the list. The car is amazing at drifting because as soon as you sort of touch that handbrake, the car just instantly turns into that drifting angle, and you just build up score instantly. But it's just some events, like, you know, you got narrow tracks, and because the car is so fast, sometimes it's hard to not hit a wall or a barrier to lose that ×4 bonus, which can be a bit of a pain in the ass. But overall, this car is really good, and I'm sure there's still loads of people still using this car, and rightfully so. At number 2, we have the Nissan Fairlady Z Derelict car. Now, this was my main drift car for quite a long time. This car has to be one of the most easiest cars to control while you're drifting, which makes drifting just so much more fun and easier to do. Without trying to sound like a big-headed idiot, I was leader of the speedball for the Drift King event for quite some time by using this car. I mean, that's how good this car is. I mean, if you're getting high scores on drift events and you look at the challenge log, you will see that a lot of the high scores are gained by using this car. So I would seriously go out there and give this car a try. At number 1, we have the Volkswagen Beetle. I'm joking, don't kill me. How could I not put the Mazda RX-7 at number 1? Now, the top 5 drift cars I did previously was put out there before this update where the Mazda RX-7 was released. So I was obviously getting lots of comments saying, why isn't Mazda RX-7 in this list and all this sort of crap? Because people didn't realise that, you know, the car wasn't actually released at the time. So obviously when the car was released, I went out there and got it, got it to 399, and oh my fucking god, this car is like the best car I've ever tried out for drifting. Like I mentioned earlier, the Nissan Fairlady Z was my main drift car because I thought that it was the car I could pull out most scores with. But as soon as I got this car on the road, I was literally murdering all of my personal best scores for drifting by using this car. I just can't explain just how amazing this car is, and if you've not tried it out, please just go out there and do it, because you will seriously not regret it. Well, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to slap me a like and smash that subscribe button. And if you fancy it, you can always check out my channel where I've done a video of the Mazda RX-7 and some other top 5s as well. Until then, I will see you in the next video.